Hello sir, this is the first connection needs to connected after installation of the motor. This is the input AC supply, and this wire is connected for line, neutral and earth. These three wires needs to be connected to this board. After that, after switching on the power, the board will respond like this. This is 2 for the limit switch indication, and the 1 LED is for power LED is there for power indication. After that, first we need to add the remote to the control panel. So, for that, there is a black micro switch is placed here. Just press it, hold for 5 seconds. The one red LED will start to blink, flash. After that, press and hold the first button on the remote for 1 second. That LED will flash for 2-3 times, and that's enough for remote adding. After switching on the power, the board will respond like this. This is 2 for the limit switch indication, and the 1 LED is for power LED is there for power indication. After that, first we need to add the remote to the control panel. So, for that, there is a black micro switch is placed here. Just press it, hold for 5 seconds. The one red LED will start to blink, flash. After that, press and hold the first button on the remote for 1 second. That LED will flash for 2-3 times, and that's enough for remote adding. So this is the basic connection described in the top cover of the control panel. These connections are already given to this motor control panel. This is for the limit switch operation, limit switch condition. For open limit, close limit, these three wires describes the limits. On the other side, we are having motor connection and the capacitor connection. These all wires are already connected to this board. Okay, start. This is the photocell contact point. Here we connect the 12 volt supply for operating that photocell. For both the transmitter and receiver, you need to connect this 12 volt and common for powering it on. After that, the NC of the photocell needs to connect to the PH point. Okay, then just remove this short circuited wire in order to activate the photocell. After that, for setting the bell push option, you need to connect 2 wires to this single and common point. And also you can add 3 or 4 separate wires to open, close, stop operation separately. These are marked like C, S, O. C for close, and S for stop, and O for open. So I am explaining the manual switch operation. In order to act that, just take a single button. You can use a single button to open, close, stop for all these functions. For that, you need to connect the 2 wires from the bell switch to the point single and common. Okay, I will show a demo like this. While shorting the single and common point, the motor starts to move, and if you short another, it will stop. If you put another press on the bell switch, it will move on the air direction. Separate. Also, you can add 3 separate switches for open, stop, close functions. It will like that. If you short the close and common button, it will move in the close direction. Okay. For stop the motor, you just short circuit the or push the switches on the common point and the stop point. It will stop. Okay. And finally, for opening the motor, you can short circuit the O and common wires using a bell switch for opening the motor. So for limit switch operation, in ideal condition, you will see these 2 LEDs. This one for open limit and other for close limit. For operation, if we press the button on the remote, the motor will start to move on one direction. If the magnet while moving the gate, if the magnet reaches its limits, it will read the limits and put the motor into off position. After that, the motor starts to rotate on the other direction. After reaching the other limit, the magnet will reaches the second point on the NC to reach its stop position. This limit switch reads the opening and the stopping ends for the gate. This upper portion controls the open limit and the lower portion controls the close limit. Okay, while the magnet reaches one region of the NC, it will stop, and if the gate is running, the magnet will reach its second stopping point. While it's reaching its second point, it will stop. Okay, for that we are having a small plate and a larger plate. We are having two type of plates with the kit for stopping the motor. One is for closing limit and the other is for open limit. Fix it. For fixing the stopper plate in the rack, you need to set like this. You need to weld it to the rack where the motor wants to stop, and the other direction is like putting the same upper plate in the other end direction for stopping the motor. It will place like this. You also need to weld these rack points to stop the motor at its level.